Also wanted to ask you about Elijah's Law. What is that?
So Elijah's Law is, it's named after my beloved son Elijah Olive. It was one of the things that my ex-wife and I we worked on in New York, to basically put guidance and protection in place in childcare centers, because New York did not have anything for childcare. They were only a voluntary guideline that governed K through 12, but just what I said, voluntary guidelines for schools to kind of like adapt, just to keep children safe. But the childcare in New York State didn't really have anything. So my ex-wife and I, we worked on writing the guidance and writing the policies and putting in place and working with the elected officials at the time was Senator Brian Benjamin and Assemblyman Al Taylor, working with our district leader Cordell Clare on these matters and making sure we can put something in place that will be solid and ironclad. So when it does go through the legislative process, that there won't be any oppositions that will hold the bill back. So when we got the unanimous votes for this bill to continue pass through and it's signed by the governor at the time by Cuomo, it was one of the things that is never been done in New York State. And then it was one of the first of its kind in the United States to actually happen on a mandated law, specifically for licensed and registered daycare centers throughout New York State. So Elijah showed it sounds simple, but there are so many childcare centers throughout this country that doesn't have basically say all his eggs in his baskets in a sense. There are still missing pieces. So what we do, we've actually created a toolkit with AAFA, which is Asthma and Allergy Foundation of America. We created a toolkit with them that breaks down every state in this country on their guidance and policies for their childcare centers. So what we do with Elijah's Law, we go to those states and we go in and we close those gaps. And those gaps are being closed. So in the event that they're missing epinephrine training or access to epinephrine and so forth, we go in there, we work with Elijah's Law within that state, and we close that. So we're currently working. We just got a city ordinance passed for Kansas City. We're working on Missouri. We have a bill in Pennsylvania. We're working in a bill for Michigan. We're working in a bill for California. So our goal is not just to get it, state by state, but make it into a federal legislation. Elijah's Law is one of those bills that we want, not just for our namesake and the legacy of our son, but it keeps children safe and give parents, and I keep stressing, it gives parents peace of mind when they go to their child care centers, because they have this tangible information when the law is passed to bring to these schools to provide the help.
I think it's interesting that, one, this hasn't already been or wasn't already a thing. But then two, hearing you say that you're working with other states to really push this forward. This isn't a federal situation in 2023. You would think it would be. Is this not something that's just like, nationwide? Am I missing something right now?
No, unfortunately not. It's we wish it was nationwide. That's one of the goals for us, is to make this into a federal legislation, because it's one of the importance of making sure we can close that gap throughout every state. Unfortunately, it's not. That's why we're working so diligently to make it happen. And it's baffling, right? It's baffling to see it not even happening, but that's why through the work that we're doing via our foundation and working with so many like organizations and advocacy groups, just to create those things in every state.